Hey, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving. This is the Thanksgiving edition of Everything Phoenix. We are live and we are bringing you a Phoenix market update as we always do on a weekly basis. And we usually go Thursday, guys, but I love you. But Thursday, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna keep that. Go ahead and keep that to my family. All right. Sorry, guys, there for the audio problem. We're gonna rock and roll here, guys. This is about development in Scottsdale, and all right, guys, hold on. We're gonna have a little issue. We have some feedback here on the audio, so we are going to see if we can't get that fixed. Okay, but we're gonna rock and roll, and we are going to rock and roll with some of this apartment issues that we are having in Scottsdale that we're going to hit on right now. So, guys, if you're hearing feedback, I apologize. Hopefully, we'll get that fixed and it will go away. But we're going to rock and roll. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get after it right now, this Thanksgiving edition. So, here we go. Guys, first of all, Phoenix Metro on track to break its 5-year apartment building record in 2022. Wow. Okay, so this says right here that in ranking of the top 20 U.S. metros by projected new apartments in 2022, the Phoenix Metro came in 6th place with an estimated 15,988 new units, nearly double the number of rentals constructed in 2021. So that is incredible, right? So that is double, and we have a lot of apartments. Now we have a lot of jobs coming here, so that's the excuse here, and that's the Phoenix Metro area. But the one area I really want to concentrate on is going to be Scottsdale. Okay. All right. So Scottsdale is the upscale luxury, if you will, suburb of the Phoenix metro area. And there's a lot of opposition to going vertical and density in Scottsdale. Scottsdale's never had that. It's kind of known for having some spread out places, not a lot of traffic. And obviously, the residents are afraid that it's going to bring all that here. So hopefully, guys, that at some point here kind of subsides. But according to the Scottsdale City Council, there was a 4-3 vote that was approved this new project here. A $1 billion mixed-use development receives city council approval. And here it is, Optima, which already has developed the Kierland residences as well as the Camel View down by Old Town or in Old Town by the Scottsdale Fashion Square. This is their newest project, and it's going to be off the 101 in Scottsdale Road. So you can see right here some of the photos of what it's going to look like. So let's dive into this here, guys, because this is interesting, right? You're looking at a 4-3 vote that was approved by Scottsdale City Council, and it is going to be 6 8-story buildings that are each 118 feet tall. 4 of those will be apartments and the other 2 condominiums. They'll include 1,330 units plus 36,000 square feet of commercial space for other amenities throughout the development. So let's keep going here, guys, but let's pause. Let me take you to the map, okay, because they didn't give us one here. So this map right here shows you kind of where they will be located, okay, and what the plan is for this. So you're looking right here, this area. Here's the 101. Here's Scottsdale Road. So this plot of land right in here is the proposed development use. So you're talking 1,330 apartments that will be built right in this area on the southeast corner of the 101 in Scottsdale Road. So that is, there's a lot of density already right there. Matter of fact, if you go over here just a little bit further, you can see on 56th Street, you have apartments here now, right here. This is obviously an outdated Google GPS look, but you have the Camden apartments already in this area. And so you're going to be putting more and more density right in this area, which, by the way, there is a lot of land, guys, and it's going to be developed at some point. But obviously, the residents of Scottsdale are hoping that it's not going to be high density, high units apartments. So there's the map of the area. Now let's go back to the article. They're going to build studios, 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom units that range in square feet from 775 to 2,025 square feet. Each of the 6 buildings will have a rooftop pool. Okay. Now it's going to be obviously done really well. You can see the all glass buildings, the construction, the community grounds in the middle. So it's going to be a high-end apartment / condo community. So let's dive into some more of it. The address is going to be 1877 North Scottsdale Road, and they are going to be providing residences ideally for employers. Again, this is their reasoning or excuse, right, guys? Right? Because you have Axon headquarters, you have the nationwide building, the nationwide regional headquarters, and check this out. There is plans for a hospital to be built along that freeway nearby that we'll get to in just a second. So stay tuned for that. They've been working on this project now for a while, and the initial iteration of the Optima McDowell Mountain Village, which is the name of 3 buildings at 15 stories tall and 3 buildings at 11 stories tall. But obviously that was nixed, and they had to get that down, that height restriction down a little bit for these apartment complexes. But still, 8 stories tall is not short. I know that's pretty short for New York City and Chicago, but for Scottsdale, that's pretty tall. So again, you have the different council men and women that voted that have their opposing concerns. Kathy Littlefield opposed the project, and you had Tammy Capulte who supported it. But there's a difference in opinions, right? Tammy's all about supporting jobs and the growth of Scottsdale and attracting more and more high-paying, talented corporations and employees and people. But Kathy Littlefield opposed the project. She said they have concerns over possible future noise complaints from the aircraft at Scottsdale Airport, which is right next to this project. And she says that, of course, anyone that was listening in terms of last election, residents were very much for not having more high-density apartment living. Nonetheless, it's still passed, and we are rocking and rolling here with this, and that's what it's going to be. So apparently construction, there's no timetable for construction, but Optima says they're going to start on it as soon as they had city council approval, which they just received. So assuming that construction is going to start actually fairly soon. Okay. So again, that's just 2 miles west of another $1 billion development, the Cavazin, by Nationwide Realty Investors. And so that, looking at the map, that is on Scottsdale Road, and Hayden right here in the 101, that is right in this area. Okay. You have Choice Hotels International, which is headquartered right there now. And so you have some development going on right there. Nice Hilton Hotel that's brand new. That's going to be done. And then you got some more land here that's going to be developed as well at some point. Now let's jump over here to this hospital. This is interesting. Okay. So you have Honor Health just outbid Banner in Arizona land auction. Okay. Now we have a map here. Here's Hayden Road, and here's this parcel in blue that Honor Health just beat out Banner, which are 2 of the biggest operators of the healthcare system for Phoenix. Obviously, Mayo Clinic is a big one down here too as well, but these are extremely large healthcare providers in the Phoenix Metroplex. So you have Banner Health, which really, really wanted it. Obviously, they were bidding, in a live auction against Honor Health. And it went from a minimum bid of $56.95 million all the way up to $84 million. And the winner was Honor Health. So you can see Laraway, which is the CEO of Banner Health, kept going, and he was increasing bids by more than $2 million at a time just to try to scare off Honor Health, and Honor Health did not go away. And Honor Health ended up spending $84 million on that land alone. That's a lot. And there's a CEO right there signing papers. Now, the interesting part here, guys, is this. It says right here that the CEO told the Business Journal that he's not so sure there's a need for another hospital campus on that parcel because you have the Mayo Clinic Hospital nearby, and you have Honor Health Scottsdale Thompson Peak Medical Center nearby. So to give you perspective again on this, you're talking about right here is the parcel for that hospital. Okay. Well, you have Honor Health Scottsdale Thompson Peak right here. Not very far away, not a huge hospital, but it is nonetheless a hospital with an emergency room and the whole 9 yards. And then over here off 56, you have the Mayo Clinic Hospital campus, which is enormous right here on this side of the 56th Street. So what they're going to do is remain to be seen, but they're in control of the land now, and we'll see what happens with what Honor Health decides to do. All right, let's move along, guys. Okay, after some development news. Oh, I got to talk about this real quick because this is kind of cool. This is something kind of fun. The Super Bowl, if you have been living under a rock, you know is coming to Phoenix in 2023 here this football season. And American Airlines just announced that they are adding 91 additional flights to the Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport over the Super Bowl weekend. And here's the interesting statement of this. Right now in 2015, the last time Phoenix did host a Super Bowl, the day after held the current, or still holds actually to this day, the current record for the busiest day at Sky Harbor International Airport, with more than 180,000 passengers using the airport that day, guys. So if you could avoid Sky Harbor the day after the Super Bowl this year, I would highly recommend it, because they're anticipating that's going to be the new record for the most people and most passengers ever traveling through Sky Harbor Airport that day. All right, so American Airlines is gearing up. Southwest is as well, and so are the other airlines. But American Airlines is the largest airline that flies out of Sky Harbor, so they are ramping that up. Guys, by all means, please feel free to ask questions. Let us know where you're from. We would love to know where you're from and where you're listening at today. And what are your plans for Thanksgiving? I know we're a little off. We're kind of midday. It's a lunch, pre-Thanksgiving lunchtime YouTube live here, guys. But we appreciate you popping on here and paying attention. And now we're going to cover a little bit of the Phoenix market housing update. Okay, so let's jump over here to the Cromford report, guys. You know we are big supporters of the Cromford report. I'm going to pop this off here for a second. And so the Cromford report, guys, is again the leading housing economist in the state of Arizona, and we subscribe to them. We get all the data from them because they are the best. So we're going to go over that right now. But remember, a balanced market, according to the CMI, the Cromford Market Index, is between 90 and 110, and a buyer's market is below 90. A seller's market is above 110. We're going to hit on a couple things here as well and go over this commentary, because I think it's pretty important to know kind of where we're going towards the end of the year for our housing market. So here we go, guys. You can see on this, let me share my screen here. You can see you have a commentary, which is interesting. Now, we're first starting off with rental rates, because no one talks about that, yet that plays a huge role in the housing market. Because if you're not going to buy and you have to live somewhere, your only option is to rent, right? So let's talk about that for a second. The supply of homes, okay, for sale is dropping now, and we have no doubt that's going to continue for a little while, okay? But no one talks about the active rental listings, and they now number over 4,000 for the first time since January 15. It's 123% higher than the same time last year. So we now are having an increase of supply on the rental rates. Because of that, single-family detached homes, in terms of supply, are up 128%. Townhomes up 122%, and then so on and so forth. Everything is up by a decent amount. So now renters are going to have a little more leverage in this game. Okay. Now, with all this competition, the rents are being asked. Excuse me, the rents being asked have been falling for many months, which of course pleases the Federal Reserve, but not landlords. Landlords want the rents to go up, right? But tenants want to come down. And then where is that happy medium? Well, right now it's in the tenant's favor. Okay. So the average rent being asked for a single-family detached home is now $143 per square foot per month, down from $176 per month. So that's a decrease of 19%. So if you're a tenant and you're looking to maybe have a little negotiating power, there's your stat, right? Or is this rental priced well, or is it not? Well, blanket statement again, because there's different parts of the valley, guys, but $143 a foot, $1.43 a foot is where it currently stands on average across Maricopa County. All right, which is interesting in talking about apartments. Okay, today, apartment rents are much higher because they tend to be located more centrally, but these are now trending down too. The average rent per square foot per month for apartments peaked at $2.26 a foot in February, but has declined since then to $1.86 a square foot. All right, so that is somewhat interesting. Now let's go over here. Let's talk about listings, guys. Where is all the inventory? By the way, the fact that we don't have a lot of inventory is a good thing, because if we did have increasing inventory at a high rate, then you're talking some symptoms of 2007 and 8 all over again, right? Which nobody wants that. So this is what's keeping the market still relatively balanced, because if we come over here, you can see in Phoenix right now, this is just Phoenix, not the suburbs, but in Phoenix, Arizona right now, you're just below a balanced market at 87.8. All right. And again, remember, 90 to 110 is the balance of a market, supply and demand. So you're just below that right now. So that being said, going back over here, what's keeping it that way is the lack of listings that are new coming onto the market. Now, if you look at every single year with the cycle, you'll see that as we get towards the end of the year, listing counts do tend to start to go down. But this is an overall yearly stat. This is 2022 okay, new listings by day for the first 2 weeks of December. November. So this is current real time in November every year comparison. So you'll see that even though they are lower this year, like they seasonally normally are anyway, you do have a lot less than you had last year. And I mean, all the years going back to 2005 in this graph. Okay. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, here are the specifics for some of the cities. Phoenix down 43% in terms of listings this time of year compared to last year. Tempe down 37%. Scottsdale down 35%. Gilbert down 41%. Chandler down 47%. Mesa is only down 24%. On the west side, Peoria down 47%. Glendale down 31%. And Surprise is down 21%. Now, what's interesting is you'll notice a direct correlation between the amount of listings new coming to the market this time of year compared to whether it's more of a buyer's market or a seller's market, because demand is down outside of some of the Northeast Valley locations like Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, Cave Creek. Demand is down pretty much across the board. So if we had an increase of supply that was sharp, that would cause, potentially some panic and values to decrease at a faster rate. Whereas right now they're holding steady in a lot of places across the valley. In some other places across the valley, they are not. And so given those stats, let's go down here and check this out. Remember, Surprise is only down 21%. Okay. Well, now check this out. Surprise. Surprise is the one major city defined by the CMI, the Cromford Market Index, that is actually increased the change month over month, right? So this is pretty crazy right here. They're actually up 3%. So, what's causing that exactly? It's probably more so the lack of increase of supply as opposed to this big increase of demand, most likely in this situation. But as you can see, across the board, everything is continuing to go down to an extent month over month in terms of whether it's trending more towards a buyer's market or more towards a seller's market. Right now, you can see Fountain Hills at 149.2. Fountain Hills, guys, wow, right? Scottsdale, 119. Yeah, surprise. So, Abby, I love it. Thanks for commenting. You're fantastic. Wow, what a surprise. That is a surprise, right? No doubt about it. By the way, who named it Surprise? It's interesting. It's a great name, by the way. And then you have Cave Creek, which is still a balanced market at 104. Scottsdale and Fountain Hills, though, technically you are a seller's market. So if you have a house to sell and you want to wait, you can certainly do that, and maybe things get better. But right now, things are pretty good, and that's all we will ever know, right? None of us are smart enough to predict the future. We all have our opinions, but what we know is what we know right now today. And if you're looking to sell right now, Scottsdale, Fountain Hills, not a bad time, relatively speaking, in comparison to everything else, right? So then you have, Phoenix, Chandler, Glendale, Tempe, Gilbert. And so a lot of these towns here, they are the properties that had the least amount of, least amount of supply coming to the market because they're down in terms of supply, which is keeping the market for those suburbs pretty decent still. So that's an interesting comparison. All right, now I'm going to jump over here to the iBuyers. Okay, so let's jump over here. Got an article here. Right now, we talked about this ad nauseum. We're going to keep talking about it, guys. If you want the best deal possible, most likely, generally speaking, in Phoenix, Arizona, you should be looking for a property owned by Opendoor or Redfin or potentially even OfferPad. So where does the iBuy model go after rapidly slowing the housing market from here? Okay. This article is interesting because it talks about how much money Redfin and Zillow lost a bunch of money, right? I mean, you see right here, I think it says in this article how much money Zillow lost. Yep. Check this out. Oh, I'm sorry, not Zillow. Opendoor. Opendoor Technologies posted a net loss of $928 million for the quarter. Just a quarter, right? Attributing to its homes selling for less than what the company had paid for them the prior quarter. Well, that's what happens when you're buying homes with a thin profit margin, and then the market obviously changes. So where does it go from here? That's a good question. Now, this guy makes the case that potentially because they're so well capitalized, they will be around in the long term. But in the short term, they are hemorrhaging, guys. I mean, it is not pretty out there. So if you look at the Cromford index on the iBuyers, this is interesting, right? This is Opendoor specifically, their listing count by status. So you can see the years down here, 20 to 21 to 22, okay? Now look at this big gap. The blue is the active properties right now, and the orange is under contract. So everything was hunky-dory back here. Everything was really hunky-dory back here. And then, everything was okay, maybe right through here. You can survive on that. But right here, that's a tough one to survive. I mean, there's countless examples, guys, of people, going into negotiate with a buyer that owns a property with Opendoor and or Redfin or what used to be Zillow or OfferPad, and it's just you can really, really do a good job on the negotiating aspect. Now, what they're doing price-wise is not just slashing. It's not necessarily a fire sale, but they're reducing. They said pretty much every 14 days. There's a company that tracks all this. They're reducing every 14 days at a number on average around 2%. So if you're thinking they're slashing 10% at a chunk, they're not. And they're going to go 14 days, 2%. See if that triggers buyer. Boom, does it or does it not? Then they're going to go another 14 days and then go another 2%. So that's the method, and frankly, it's probably the best one for them to protect the amount of money they can possibly get. So, guys, this is interesting what's going on right now in this world of iBuyers, and where it goes from here, who knows, right? But the reality is, it's going to get worse before it gets better for the iBuyers, because right now, Opendoor has 1,900 properties approximately in inventory. 1,900. Redfin only has, this is Phoenix. Redfin only has about, I think, 30 or 40. Opendoor has a couple hundred, and so it's going to get pretty bad for Opendoor here, I think, as things move forward. Now, if the market picks up next year, that will obviously help them. But they're going to be losing a lot of money in the interim, guys. So what do you think about this? We're going to keep this one a little shorter today, but what do you think about this? Where's the market going to go from here with the iBuyers specifically? They're the ones that are tanking the market for the most part. And obviously, mom and pop have to keep up with that if they're looking to sell a house, because their home could be compared to another iBuyer. But when you look at what's going on, let me share my screen one more time here, guys. Look at what's going on with the Cromford market, okay? When you look at, like, say, Fountain Hills, okay? About 149, and it's a seller's market. You look at what's happening in Scottsdale, okay? 119. Let's check out Cave Creek, 104. Paradise Valley, 99, okay? Most of these places are higher-end buyer-end homes, okay? And the iBuyers didn't really focus on the high end. And so these people, in addition to having buyers that are less rate sensitive, they don't have the iBuyers slashing prices next door that are basically tanking or causing their values to tank as much. So again, it depends where you're at within the Phoenix metro area in terms of buying or selling in today's renting market. So guys, as always, please contact your favorite Cook & Associates real estate agent. All right. Or, if you have someone else, that's fine too. We just appreciate you watching the videos that we do. It's here for your content and for your knowledge and education. And we really appreciate you guys. This season for Thanksgiving is something that we're really, really thankful for. And I just want to say, with all sincerity, thank you for joining this channel. I truly, personally appreciate it. We're going to continue to make this better. Any suggestions you ever have, commenting below, we take them seriously. We put them into play, and we will execute on them to make this channel the best possible channel for news updates, for development updates, for just tours of cities and areas of the valley, and everything in between, guys. So again, I hope all of you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I really, truly appreciate you, and don't eat too much turkey. All right. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful day and holiday. Bye-bye.